Welcome back to the JSFL, and it is draft day. We got rounds 1 and 2 tonight, so 24 picks are going to go off the board today. And let's go over the trades before the draft and some small free agent signings. So the small free agent signings off the top of my head, Jack Knott. Let's see where he went. I can't really remember. Jack Knott, the tight end, he went to Phoenix, so he will be a Gila monster. So good job by Phoenix. So a tight end, less of a need for them as they found Jack Knott. So maybe this year they won't target tight end. Then you have the other tight end, Carl Cox. I believe he went back to his team. Yes, he did. He went back to Charlotte. So him and Jake Reed, he will be the backup to another tight end once again. Couldn't get that starting spot in the free agency, but at least he gets signed to a team. And then Joshua Todd. I believe he went to Detroit, if I'm correct. No, he did not. Hold on. He went to... Didn't go here either. He went, oh yeah, to LA. He went to the Earthquake, and he will be playing for the Earthquake. And let's go over the trades now. LA Earthquake. They got the first overall pick, but gave Cincinnati, pick number 6 and 18, so their first and second rounder. So, LA, their only pick is right now will be the first overall pick. So yeah, I guess Cincinnati with all the guys they got in free agency didn't feel like they need edge rusher Howard Butler. So I'm assuming that's gonna be the pick first off the board tonight. But we'll have to see what LA decides to do. Maybe they go get Chad Harrison. They don't believe in Foster. We'll have to see. It's gonna be an interesting night for sure. The next trade was Nestor Hood to Minneapolis for a second-round pick to Houston. So Minneapolis loses their second-round pick, but they get Nestor Hood, and we'll see. That should be a dangerous combination. Hopefully, what Nestor Hood lives up to his college hype, because he was such a great pick. And Houston gave a first-round pick for him, and now they only get a second in exchange, so a little bit of a loss for Houston there. But I mean, at least he got a second-round pick for him. He didn't do good last year. Minneapolis still believes in him though. So. Neil Mendoza for Tyron McDermott straight up. So LA and New Orleans make a trade. So Tyron McDermott was traded straight up for Neil Mendoza. So they're 4-string wide receivers, so it doesn't hurt them. But they get a starter on the line, so he might be competing with some of these guys to start. So interesting there for both teams. And then Eric Wart for the Phoenix Gila Monsters for a 6th-round pick. So that'll be the last round of the 6th-rounder, and Eric Wart leaves New York, where New York didn't really care for him. And he's going to be a Phoenix. He'll compete for that 3rd spot, probably with Trevor Washington. So good job for all these teams and trades. So that's 4 trades for you. Now let's get into it. First thing, and we'll go to Cincinnati, and let's look. I mean, I'm looking at the roster right now. Quarterback, I think they're going to stick with Foster for 1 more year. He's a nice 85 overall. Running back, they're good. Wide receivers, I mean, a 4th option, but besides that, pretty good options. You don't need to target this draft. Tight end, they need a backup. That's not something to use a first overall pick on. Offensive lineman, there's not too many good guys in this draft, so I don't think I'm going to take one if I'm LA. Edge rusher, that is the need. Steve Stewart is not doing it. Defensive tackle is a need. Steven Taylor, a 74 overall regressing tackle is your number 1, so not good in DT. Linebackers, they have good ones. Tyron McDermott is aging though, so maybe they get outside linebacker. Corners, they need a 4th string. Free safety is good, and strong safety is serviceable. So with the first overall pick, I think we already know where this one's going, and it's got to be, I just want to check something real quick here. It's going to have to probably be Howard Butler here. I mean, let's look at I'm going to look at one thing just to make sure he's really good at this. Yeah, he's really good at this. I wanted to make sure his moves are really good. Better than Lamar Campbell at it. Yeah, man, he's a dog. 49ers, I mean, yeah, the West 49ers, Hans Russ, he's better than Hans Russ. Who was else? Another good guy at Blockshed, another pass rusher. I can't think of any guys off the top of my head right now. Cody Pollock, he's better than Cody Pollock. Keaton Curry, obviously. Christopher Keller, he's better than. Christopher Keller. 86. Yeah. All right. Yep. With the first overall pick in the JSFL Season 2 draft, the Cincinnati Hounds take. Oh no, wait. The LA Earthquake. My bad. With the first overall pick in the JSFL Season 3 draft, the LA Earthquake take Howard Butler, defensive end, North. So Butler off the board, and it's a great pick, and this really helps this defensive front as they're struggling now after this offseason. No one coming here besides Mendoza, who they traded McDermott for, so he's probably going to take over that right edge spot. A great pass rusher, and I think this is a good trade up. And I mean, they do have some needs, but this is a great spot for them to trade up. They get Butler, and yeah, man, the defensive tackle spot's looking kind of rough, but that front seven really shaping up now. And now you got Roland Lemus, who got put 26.5 sacks up, and Howard Butler. Dang, it's going to be a scary front seven for LA this year, if they really help with that front seven still later in the draft. But yeah, let's go to Charlotte now, as their pick is number 2 on the board. Okay, quarterback Edward Phillips. They could go Harrison, but I've heard from sources they do like Phillips. We'll see if it's a lie. They need a slot wide receiver, a third guy. Tight end, they got Jake Reed, so they're good. Tackle, they need. Edge is pretty good. Defensive tackle is good now with the addition of Benjamin Jones. Linebacker is a smaller need, but it's a need. Corner is a need. Corner is not a need, my bad. Free safety is good. Strong safety is okay. But they do like their guy at strong safety, so I think they're going to keep him. I can see them going Hogan Miller. I can see them going Zachary Wong. I don't think they're going to take one of the tackles this early. They're not that great of tackles. The best guy that is tackle is Owen Dickerson, a 75 overall. And who knows if that's going to help them that much. I think that's a reach. But there's some pretty good interior offensive linemen. I don't think they want to switch necessarily. So, Batsman, I don't know. Interesting pick. Did they want to improve that offense? Give Phillips throwing? Do they want Chad Harrison? We'll be back in a second when I make my decision, because I don't want you guys to know my decision. But just know, it's probably going to be between Harrison, Miller, and probably Zachary Wong. Alright now, so with the second pick in the JSFL Season 3 draft, the Charlotte Bats have selected with the second overall pick, Zachary Wong, inside linebacker, South Falcons. So Zachary Wong coming off the board here, guys. And this is really going to help that linebacker core. Jordan Wastard here is right now, but they're taking Zachary Wong, who with a lot of upside, a smart guy. He was a really key piece of that South Falcon defense. Even though they went 1-5, he was a really good player. And I think this is an absolute little bit of a reach by Charlotte, but he's a great player. I mean, if they would have waited for the second round, he probably would have been gone. So Zachary Wong, 2 defensive players. And now New York is on the board, and let's look at those needs. So here we go, New York. Now another East team. Quarterback is pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised if they went with it though. Halfback, wide receiver, they're pretty good now with the addition of Thomas Wagner, and they do like Victor Rhodes as a 4th guy, so I wouldn't be surprised if they kept that guy. Middle linebacker is a huge need, so I think they're very sad about the loss of Zachary Wong off the board, because I'm sure they would have wanted him. Corner is a need, as their guys are aging. Kevin Trolls is looking promising, though. Safety is good. So here's the guys I'm going to go between: Brady Blackburn, Chad Harrison, and inside linebacker Elias Clean. So I'll be back in a second. Alright, we made the pick. And with the 3rd overall pick in the JSFL Season 3 draft, the New York Businessmen select Brady Blackburn, corner, South Falcons. So the best corner goes off the board. The 3rd defensive player pick, no offense yet, but Blackburn is a beast. He's a great corner, and with the Asian corners in New York, they're a defensive team first, man. They did the offense, though, it was struggling last year, but they decided to neglect it, which is a little bit shocking, but they did pick up Wagner. But still, last offense in the league last year. Their defense, though, which they like the most, is 7th. They're trying to put it in that top 6 at least. And yeah, they had some holes, and they're trying to fill them here. And Blackburn is a great pick. I'm not going to diss the pick. It's great. I just don't know, man. Offense struggling. But we'll see what they do with Blackburn. But now Kansas City's on the clock. Let's look at those needs, and there's a lot of them. I wouldn't be surprised if Kansas City is the relocation team next year. They've just lost and lost through the years. Quarterback is a need. Running back, they're good. Wide receivers in need. They lost almost everyone, so there's Eric Fitzgerald and Roderick Wells. 59 overall, Roderick Wells. 99 overall, Fitzgerald, so wide receiver, huge need. Tight end, no, they're good. Offensive tackle, they need an offensive tackle. They need edge. They need outside linebacker or inside, just a linebacker in general. They need corner, and they need, that's it. So the guys it's between is Harrison, Hogan Miller. I'm not going to put tackle in here because I don't like the tackles again. And probably I'd have to go with Christopher Keller. So yeah, there you go. Hogan Miller, Harrison, or Keller. I'll be back in a moment when I make the pick. Alright, and we're back. And with the 4th overall pick in the JSFL Season 3 draft, the Kansas City Wind select Chad Harrison, quarterback, East Eagles. So, even though he lost that championship, might have fell his stock a little bit, but he is such a great player. And you might not have anyone to throw to yet, but you gotta start with that quarterback to face the franchise. They don't think Shooter is that. But man, it's gonna be hard. He's on a rough team. I don't think he'll have the best first year, but we'll have to see what Harrison can do. And now, Minneapolis is on the clock with the 5th pick in the draft, and let's look at those needs. Quarterback, they're good. Running back, they're good. Wide receivers, they're good. They got Hood. Tight end, they're good. Offensive tackle, a smaller need, but it's there. Edge rusher, a smaller need, but it's there. Defensive tackle's a need. Corner, they're good. Free safety. Safety's a little bit of a need. But let's see what they could go here. I could see them going Lamar Campbell. I could see them going Lewis McCormick. And I could see him also going Angel Washington or Ricardo Sanchez. I'm going to put 4 in there. I'll be back when I make the pick. Alright, we're back in with the 5th overall pick in the Season 3 JSFL Draft. The Minneapolis Fishers select Lewis McCormick, defensive tackle, West. And so Lewis McCormick out the board now. And it's a really solid pickup. He is my second favorite pass rusher, or second favorite defensive tackle in the class. A little bit, I don't know, I'm growing on him a little more than Walker Itcalf just because of his speed to the quarterback, but Walker Itcalf's just a beast, man. But I love Lewis McCormick, high motor, he can get to the quarterback, and he got to him. I don't know if he got to Harrison on the championship day, but he's been a great guy. I think he had at least 5 sacks this season. He was piling them up, and I can't wait to see what he can do in the league, man. Lewis McCormick, give it up to him, and he is going to be a Fisher. And now, with the 6th overall pick, Cincinnati Hounds are on the clock, so they would have had pick number 1, but they traded it, so let's see those needs. Quarterback, they are good. Halfback, good. Wide receiver, they need a 4th guy, but not a need. You'd go with the 1st pick. Offensive line, they really helped in the draft and the free agency, so they're good. Edge rusher, a smaller need because Torres is getting older. Linebacker inside is a need. Corner, 3rd string kind of guys, kind of a need because Mullins is older. And safety is a huge need. So here's your guys I'd go with. I'd go with either Francisco Stevenson, Angel Washington, Ricardo Sanchez, or I would go with Elias Clean here. Oh no, wait, Christopher Keller. We'll go with Christopher Keller for those. So Christopher Keller, Angel Washington, Ricardo Sanchez, or Francisco Stevenson. But I'll let you guys can always try to predict the pick. I'm just helping you guys out here, trying to narrow it down. So I always pick between these guys, most likely. If not, it'd be, I'd tell you guys. But yeah, I'll be back when I make the pick. Alright, we're back, and with the 6th overall pick in the JSFL Season 3 Draft. Let me redo that. With the 6th pick in the JSFL Season 3 Draft, the Cincinnati Hounds select Ricardo Sanchez, safety from East. And Sanchez, I have him as the #1 safety in the class. It's between him and Angel Washington so hard, but I can't do it. Sanchez is just too much of a talent. He's speedy, but he needs some of the improvements. Tackling he needs to improve on. Let's see. He has low awareness, he has okay awareness, but same as Washington. They have the same block sharing skills. Yeah, it's just like Angel Washington, he's got the better hit power, but he's slower. Ricardo Sanchez, he's got the less tackling and lower hit power, but he's faster. And that's sometimes what you need. You need the speed on defense to keep up with those guys. And that's what I got to go with here. And I got to give in Ricardo Sanchez. So let's go now to the Detroit Power with the 7th pick. And let's see those holes. And let's go. Okay, so quarterback, they got Sean Richardson, so they good there. Halfback, Taylor Little and Steve Watts are solid. Wide receivers, they do need a 3rd string as Hogan Miller is on the board as Alan Simmons is getting older. Tight end, Hector McDaniels is good. Herbert Kelly's there. I was looking at the offensive line. They're good on offensive line. Angel Parks, though, they might want to get rid of or try to get a replacement from. So we'll see you there. Edge, they're good on the edge. Rushing the passer, they're set. They got plenty guys on the defensive tackle spot. Outside linebackers, they're good on the... Oh, they need a right outside linebacker. Wait, no, hold on. They need an edge rusher, because Amadi Erickson is their outside linebacker. So they need one edge rusher. Corners are set. If they believe in Toner as a slot guy, so maybe slot guy. So I'd put it between... I do like this one guy for their scheme, so I'd put it between a wide receiver. I'm not going to tell you who yet. I'll just say them. Either Hogan Miller or Patrick King. Then Christopher Keller or Lamar Campbell. And then... yeah, that's it. I'd go with those guys. Maybe Francisco Stevenson. So 5 guys on there. And I'll be back with the pick. Alright, we're back and we got the pick. And so with the 7th pick in the JSFL Season 3 Draft, the Detroit Power select Christopher Keller, linebacker, West. So Christopher Keller, I believe it would be him at defensive end, but maybe they switch Amadi Erickson back. But we'll see. Christopher Keller's just a beast, man. I thought he was at least top 5 defense players in the class. I thought of him, honestly, as #1, maybe. But he's just great and a great player, and he should be great for Detroit, who is in need of a guy in that front 7 to just help it even more than it's already beast mode. You're playing with men like David Medina. You're playing with Nicholas Stone. Amadi Erickson, 2nd year. He'll be amazing. Phil Fagg, who they had in free agency. Who is the guy who they also have in the defense? Shady McGuire, who's great. And then a pretty good guy in Jesse Mendez, man. And yeah, you're pretty good there for Detroit. So yeah, and there you go. That is what I got for the 7th pick. And the 8th pick now, it belongs to the Atlanta Predators. So let's go look at the needs for Atlanta. So we go to Predators. And they got to the playoffs last year along with Detroit. But they got taken out in the 1st round. Quarterback, I think they got to believe in Trent Hudson, man. They at least give him this year. So no question, they're keeping quarterback. Wide receiver is a need a little bit because I don't think they like Carousel. They might trade him. I don't know. Still room to trade. Tight end, they're good. Offensive line, I believe they're good. I forgot to move Perry Webb to guard. My bad. Gotta do that real quick. And center they do need. That is one need for them. Edge rusher, they're good. Defensive tackle, they need a second guy. Linebackers, wait. I need to go check if they're 3-4 or 4-3 real quick. So yes, defensive tackles in need. Linebackers, outside linebackers in need. Corner, slot corners in need, and that is it. Everything else is good. So let me give you through the picks. It will either be Hogan Miller, center. So let's see what centers are in the class. I guess I'd go guard. Maybe Terry. Rodney Holt, Blaine Bradford, maybe. Ronnie Hart, Nicholas Sampson, Hassan Cole. Those are the only guys that would go on the offensive line. Maybe I'd have to look at them more if I actually thought about it. Back to the needs. Maybe Walker Cuff. Outside linebacker. I'd maybe go Lamar Campbell. And then corner, maybe I'd go Francisco Stevenson. So there's my picks, and I'll be back in a moment. So this one took me the longest time to think about. I also made a trade. So Joseph Carousel from the Atlanta Predators for a Kansas City Wind 3rd round pick. So Joseph Carousel to KCW. And now Atlanta, after long consideration, I've given them, as you can see from the trade, Hogan Miller. Wide receiver, East Eagles, was a great target for Chad Harrison and helped them greatly get to 5-1 and get to that college championship. But yeah, Hogan Miller going to Atlanta now, so he's Trent Hudson, former 1st overall pick, throwing him the ball, and Hudson's got to be happy about that pick. A young stud in Hogan Miller. So now we got New Orleans. The Musicians are on the clock with the 9th overall pick, and let's look at that roster. All right, so quarterback, they're good. Seth Skies is still looking to make a run. Wide receivers, they're pretty good. They got the guys they need. Tight end, good. Offensive line, they're good. Edge rusher, a smaller need, but it's there. Defensive tackle, they're good. Outside linebacker, they need a replacement for Tyrone McDermott. And corner, they're good. Free safety and strong safety, they're serviceable. So, your needs. Lamar Campbell would give them. Hans Russ. And Cody Pollard. So 3 pass rushers. Small exception of Angel Washington, made for safety. Alright, after looking over all the guys I mentioned, the New Orleans Musicians have made a pick. And so with the 9th overall pick in the JSFL Season 3 Draft, the New Orleans Musicians select Lamar Campbell, edge, north. So the outside linebacker edge from the North Giants goes here to New Orleans, and a great replacement for McDermott. He is a great edge rusher, same overall as McDermott, and he's young and hungry, and he should be great as they get rid of him. As they get rid of McDermott, add Campbell, McDermott was a great piece of that organization. I'm guessing they're very sad to let him go, but they get Neil Mendoza, who has a lot of upside in the slot, as they don't need that slot guy anymore, as they're looking for Mendoza to be that man. And yeah, this is great. And yeah, all right, now we got the Seattle natives on the board. I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to give them, but we're just going to look at the roster real quick. Quarterback, they're good, obviously. Halfback, they're great. They got Colton Yu. Fullback, it's not, I don't draft fullbacks. Wide receiver, they need a 4th guy, but besides that, Mark Berry's pretty dang good. Tight end, they could use the tight end, what's his name, Vincent Morgan, but now I don't think really anyone else needs a tight end besides them, so maybe they wait. Offensive line, they're solid. Rock, edge, maybe some very small need. Defensive tackle, they're good. Linebacker should be solid. They need outside linebacker though. Corner, maybe slot guy, but I think they will leave Paris Mast. And safety. So I'll give you the needs. Vincent Morgan I'd put on there. Cody Pollard, Hans Russ, And then Angel Washington and Francisco Stevenson. And I'll be back with the pick. Alright, so this was my easiest pick to make. I know who I want to give them. And so with the 10th pick in the JSFL Season 3 Draft, the Seattle Natives select. I didn't even write down. I'm so ready for the pick. And they are getting Angel Washington, safety, West. The hard hitter, and he's already solid. He just needs to work on getting quicker. And yeah, Washington, an amazing player. And going right to Seattle, and that's got to be the place he wanted to go, man. I mean, Seattle's great, and now this makes him even more excited. Getting a top-tier talent like Washington. Now let's look at Houston's needs now. The Enforcers who made it to the championship last year. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Houston. Actually, we're just going to make it. These two, we're going to do day one is just going to be the first round. We're going to do it like the NFL. Where it's day one is 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7 on that. So it's the JSFL Draft, so just like the NFL. Quarterback, they're good. Halfback, good. Wide receiver, good with the addition of Tracy Davis. Tight end, maybe 4 string, but that's pretty good too. Tight end, they're good. Offensive line, they need a guard. Defensive tackle is a need. Linebackers are good. Corner is good. Maybe a slot corner, but Stephen Harris is still. Wait, how are you only Stephen Harris? Harris is pretty good. And then, yeah, I'd give him either a guard here. I'm not going to say which one, but if you remember earlier, I went through over them. So, their defensive tackle, Walker Calf, Walker Calf. And then Francisco Stevenson. So, those are the 3. Alright, we're back with the JSFL Season 3 Draft, and with the 11th pick, the Houston Enforcers select. With the 11th pick in the JSFL Season 3 Draft, the Houston Enforcers select Blaine Bradford, guard, West. The first offensive lineman off the board. He's an incredible run blocker and a really solid pass blocker. He's solid at pass blocking, but he's also the best in the class and a mile best in class at run blocking. The best blocker you're going to get, and that's really what you're looking for in a guard. And Houston gets a snag with this one. He's going to replace the Pro Bowler Malcolm Perry, so a lot of work to do. But Blaine Bradford, man, hopefully he's good in Houston. And now Phoenix, with the final pick of tonight's day 1, is on the clock. And let's see those needs. So, quarterback, they're good. Halfback, good. Wide receiver, they're good with the addition of Eric Wart. Tight end, they did lose the guy that that won them championship, really. Jake Reed, but they did get Jack Knott, so I think they're good with that, him and Chet Wood. Offensive line, they need center, but besides that, solid as can be, pretty much, with a few needs, but they're good for the new year. Edge, they do need 2 edge guys. Defensive tackle is a need. More outside linebacker. Middle linebacker's good. Corner, they need corner. So that's another need. Safety, they're good. So let's go over those needs real quick. Center, they could use also any offensive line, I'd go again. Edge rusher, they could use Hans Russ. They could use Cody Pollett. So those 2. Defensive tackle, they could use Walker Calf. Outside linebacker, so either Hans Russ or Cody Pollett again I'd go with. Corner, I would give them Francisco Stevenson. And that is it, so I'll be back when I make the pick. Alright, so with the final pick of the first round, and the 12th pick in the... So with the 12th pick in the JSFL Season 3 Draft, the Phoenix Skill Monsters select Hans Russ, outside linebacker / edge, West. So there you go, the final pick. They need edge as Tony Migo is falling hard. They lost shot. Roaster's regressing. It's hard on that Phoenix team right now. I think I said this last year. I don't know if I did yet. I don't think they had as many losses as they did this year. Losing Baxter is a huge need, but they decided not to go corner. They decided to go edge rusher, help that front 7, and they go in a nice pick in Hans Russ. I don't think they're going to make... I'd be surprised if they made the playoffs this year. But if they made the championship, wow. I mean, Phoenix, dude. But yeah, that is it for round 1. I'll see you guys in day 2. Round 2 and 3 will be coming up.